Hello, welcome to my next episode of my base tour. For part of this, it's going to be snowing on me. I've been cursed. I was doing some other activities. Well, I guess it's almost wearing off. I should have waited. But it's kind of funny. I have a trail of snow all over the place. I'm gonna have to clean that up. So I wanted to show something here. I showed my vector plate transport last time, and literally an hour later I discovered this new way to get across. I was doing a new mod, extra rails, and this teleporting rail. This is kind of fun. So I'm gonna take that off, hop in here, and I just press this button. Boom! I get to fly across, and then where's the button? Boom! So that's kind of cool. I just wanted to show that. For the next part of the tour, I'm going to go to my base. It's called Redrum, and that's where I do some of my magic. What do you call it? Magic research. So I'm going to get there. Oh my goodness. Dig out my flu transport. And here I am at Redrum. Not a huge base, but at least I built a building. It's not a hole in the ground. So here I'm doing Electro Blob. You can program your wand with different spells. It's actually kind of a fun mod, very easy magic mod. Here's all the spell books I've discovered. So you put these in over there, and then you can load them onto your wand. Maybe I'll show some more details of the different mods that I've tried out some other time. So this is my part of my way to have bases all over the place. I have ender chests with a lot of the basic resources in them, so I don't know what that's doing in there. So I plop those down in each new location, and then I have access to all these resources. And I'm not sure if I have chunk loading on, but I have the way my sorting system is, it'll keep resupplying this with these amounts. So if I take out some iron, let me wait a minute. Boom, back up to 32. So one of my ways, if I redo my storage, I was going to have a whole bunch of my resources with different ender chests with different types of resources in them, and then I could have bases everywhere. The only problem with that is I find if you have a crash where the game like crashes or you lose power or something like that, these ender chests tend to get glitchy. I've lost the inventory before. It just kind of vanishes. So that's one thing I keep in mind that kind of makes me nervous using them, but then I tend to have, like, those aren't high amounts to store in there, so except for maybe losing some diamonds at this stage in the game. But once I get a little more established, if I lose a few resources, it won't matter. So the other thing I do over here is embers. Embers is kind of its own base. We'll get there at some point. What else in here? So yeah, blood magic is probably my main large mod that I'm doing out here. This is my Hellfire Forge. Oh, and I should say, so this base is called Redrum. Blood magic is a mod I've always wanted to play around with more. I've kind of stayed away from it because I'm not big on the whole negative aspects, like the blood sacrifices and stuff. So for me, I wish there was an overlay that you could pick different modes, have like kind of your evil wizard mode and your good wizard mode, and you could kind of the whole system works if you look at this more as if you take the self-sacrificing route, you're kind of using your own will to power this, and then it wouldn't have to be blood. This could be a nice shiny glowing blue pool or something. But anyways, I'm doing the self-sacrificing route. So and it kind of works with see, I go over here, this is my meditation area, very peaceful. I haven't done a lot with this. I've used flowing water just as a quick way to get some points. And you can meditate here, and then it charges up your sacrificial dagger, which you bring back here and do your self-sacrifice, and it gives you a big bonus to filling up your pool. And then one of the reasons I've progressed as far as I have in Blood Magic is for my sorting system, I wanted a way to sort by mod and then by item filters. And this was at this stage of what I have unlocked. This seems like the only way I can sort by mod with these routing nodes, and they're pretty neat. So over here I've set them up just to make my slate production a bit easier, a bit automated. So that's basically Redrum, and this tower I did not build. This is from Electro Blob. It's kind of handy. One of the reasons I built here too. I can run upstairs and trade with this friendly wizard. I guess I could use his altar too. I didn't have to make my own. So I can trade different things with him. It's kind of nice having a neighbor. Okay, so I hope that didn't make you dizzy. And then the other mod I've been doing out here is embers. And maybe I'll go down and have a look at that base. So these bases out here, actually all my bases, I think Smelton's the only one that I have that I'm a bit happy with what it looks like right now. This, I want to redo it out here, but it's good enough for now. So over here I just have this another walkway. I could use my train system there. I had some farming going on up here that I'm not doing anymore. I haven't been out this way very much. Farming chocolate. Yum yum. I don't remember why I have a mana pool here. I think I might have started Botania here. And doing some, of course, bee breeding. Getting my jungle bees. There's no bees in that stump. I'm going to take this to bring back home. Make some silk. But there, I'm getting sidetracked already. My Embers base is very primitive. I just started getting into it. Caves and tunnels in this world gen. I wonder if I can show this. So here, I originally discovered this place. I think I was looking for a jungle. And I came in over here. This is kind of a neat, totally little closed-in lake area. But this mountain, this is all a big mountain, and I almost was able to get all the way through by natural caves. I had to make a little bit of an artificial one to come out here. So I might do something with that. That might be part of my future development, making this into like a underground kingdom. So to get down here, this is kind of neat too. It's basically almost like a natural chimney. I'm going to do something. I'm going to put these on. And so yeah, this is cool too. This is from Blood Magic, Sentient Armor. Here, I'm going to go and show how it works. So all I do is I click this, my gem, boom, and it goes back to normal armor. There's a bit of a cost for that. But what it does is it overlays whatever armor you're wearing, but it keeps the magic enchants that these have underlying, but makes it stronger. It's really neat actually. But it doesn't work with these bouncy boots or a jetpack. It doesn't keep their abilities. And that's what I'm going to want to get down here. So let's go. There we go. I'm going to try to just bounce. So, and you can see. Oh, is there? So this is where I died. I somehow lost the key to this grave. I'm not sure if I can still open it or if there's I think it was on a corpse run. I was trying to get to my body and I got killed, so I don't think there's anything important in there. But I don't want to break it. I thought I'll just leave it here. Actually, I died a few times in here. Let's continue down. Whoa, missed there. There we go. Down, down, down. Hope that's not making anyone sick. I think I'm getting close. Yeah, so here's where I've done some work. Kind of neat area. So I made my ember bore. I can put fuel in there. and this side, finally, and ember shards come out that side. It's a super neat mod. I want to spend a bunch of time doing embers. And then I started making the base in here, and this was kind of a dumb thing. I'm under a lake of lava, but instead of moving this base to somewhere else, I just tried to work with it. I'm not super comfortable with that lava dripping down. It's kind of a cool effect, but also kind of terrifying. So I have done a bit of things with Ember, and it's been long enough that I've set this up that, you know how you forget how things work, so I'm not going to show you how it works, but Ember is really cool. Like, the models of the machines and everything are really cool. So one of the things I've been meaning to do that I remembered here is I don't have any easy way to get up and down from here. So I brought this waystone. It's just, where do I put it? If I put it here, am I going to materialize in lava someday? I don't really have a name for this base. I think I was calling it, I'm going to call it Deep Dark for now. But I think I'm stealing that name from the extra utilities dimension, the Deep Dark. But it'll work for now. Yeah, this another place I could spend a lot of time making this look nice. Whoa. I don't know what's up here. Like, I could also, might be able to drain all that lava. I don't know. This is ideas for later. So let's go back up. Oh. Why do we have a spider friend here? See if I have any cool. So this is cool. A mining. Right, kind of neat. Growth aura I haven't used. Conjure sword, that is cool. I'm going to do that. Here's my conjured sword. Wow, that's pretty neat. Oh, I guess it's going to slowly just disappear. Oh man, not a very good sword. That's neat. Okay, so what do I want to do next? I also have a couple transportation. So at one point after an update, the flu network disconnected, like didn't remember any of the settings. So as a backup, I set up waystones to get to all my bases. And waystones is configured to take experience levels to teleport around. So it's if you're over a certain distance. So I'm in the middle of nowhere out here. The only place I can get to for free is back down to my Deep Dark. I don't change the configs. I don't love it that it takes experience, but one of my rules for playing the pack is I don't change the configs. I want to play it kind of how the developers intended it, but I don't know, maybe at some date I'll change that and set it up exactly how I want it, which would be free. But for now, I will use the flu network. Shovel off some snow. Okay, so go back to Grassley. Alright, so where else can I show you? I guess just for fun, I'll show you my actual... Oh, this is cool too. So these are lubricated stone from Butterfly. I wish he would get stuck on my lubricated stone. This is something else I've set up to try out, but I was also going to use these blocks they're like another form of, you can automated transport. I think they work with items. Yeah, that's not great how they go off there, but I just step on it and I'm not walking right now. It just slid me along. But they didn't seem quite as effective as the vector plates that I used over on my bridge. So I'm going to get up there where I have my jetpack on. Oh, that's pretty easy. So when I first spawned in, I was on the edge of this cliff, and I'm not sure why my idea was to go up instead of down. Whoa, but I climbed up to the top of here and built my starter base, which is, oh my gosh. So the jetpack, the electric jetpack that I'm wearing can only go up to a certain height, and that's about it. But so I can show off something else I have, the grappling hook. I've got to grapple onto something. There we go. So that's I love that. That was really handy for early game traveling around to get up and over these things. I usually have better luck with grappling than I am right now. Not having any luck at all. Okay, so I don't think I can fly anymore because of that limit. Let's see, this might be easier now. Boop. That's so cool. Anyways, grappling hooks are cool. So this was my original base, and I got killed a few times because there was like no way to get food, there were no animals, and I couldn't sleep. So after the first night, this whole place was surrounded by monsters, and I would go out to get food or try and get away, and they would just shoot me and kill me. I didn't have any armor. I decided to start mining down, which, can you imagine if I built a mine from up here, how far I would have to go down before I could find anything? But I got down that far, and then I think I was so frustrated. There was also the primitive mobs mod was in here, and they had a thing called a harpy that would fly down and pick me up and drop me. So I think I got so frustrated, I was almost ready to quit the pack or the world, rage quit, and I just jumped off the cliff. So I was going to name this base up here. If I ever get around, I might leave it just as for archaeological purposes, as the original base that I built, or I might at some point build something up here. I think I could build something pretty neat if I get inspired. I'm going to sleep. Oh, what is that? Oh, did I get that from the spider? That's cool. So when you find these spell books, so apprentice level, there's, I think novice is the first, apprentice is second. So I would go back to that altar I showed you back at Redrum and put my staff in it, and then put this book in it and apply the book to the staff. And because I don't know the spell, I just have to try and cast it and hope nothing bad happens. There's an identify spell, but it's kind of expensive, and for these low level spells, I just like to experiment. That's how I ended up being cursed and having it snow everywhere, but still it's free. So yeah, I wanted to try something here, but I need to sleep. So thank goodness I have my sleeping mat. That's a cyclic item. I think last episode I made some disparaging comments about cyclic. I think it's only there's certain items that kind of bothered me, but it's actually a cool mod. I might do I want to do like a little spotlight on what I learned from that mod. That was a horrible sleep, lots of bouncing. So I'm going to try something here. And this could be, I'm going to take off these boots. This could be embarrassing, or it could be kind of cool. I'm just trying to see where I'm going to land. So I was going to name this base up here Leap, and this big mountain was going to be called Mount Faith. Oh, is there a monster up here? Yeah, creeper. I want to kill that creeper, and I'm going to use this ice shard. I don't like creepers. Bye bye, creep. Oh dear, skeleton. Wow. That ice shard is pretty strong. Does quite a bit of damage. Wow, look at all that junk. I really need to get my inventory sorted out. It doesn't take much to fill it with junk. I have like one free slot right now. Anyways, back to what I was going to do. So I am going to take a leap off Mount Faith. Hello, piggy. And see what happens. I have faith! Ah! Okay, that was an accident. I did not want to land in the water. Okay. So let's try this again. That was kind of dumb. Okay, I'm going to jump off the other side. That was neat though. And I think that's what happened. I went to, oh no, I forgot about that. I'm so, okay, I think I can climb this way. It's a little tricky getting the hook to grab on when it's so vertical. Let's see, how about there? Wow, I didn't intend this to be a mountain climbing adventure. This is kind of silly. Almost up. Almost up. I don't know how to get over the top because I can't grab anything. Fly? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's do that again. I didn't really want my backpack on either. Okay, forget it, cruel world. It's time to take a leap of faith. So we're I wanted to show my voodoo poppet that prevents me from falling, but why did I? I don't know how I survived that. Am I just like super tough? Wow, that was insane. Okay, well, we'll show the voodoo puppet another time. Wow. Okay, so that might be... So the only other place I can show you is my base in the Betweenlands. And I think the Betweenlands should have their own episode altogether. It's super neat. So I had an evil persona I was playing for a little while. I called him Thulu Bites. And he lived in the Betweenlands. He wasn't allowed to come to the overworld during the day. He could only come here at night. So, but spent most of his time in the Betweenlands. So I'll show you what adventures he got up to and the little base I carved out there next time. But anyways, for now, I'll see you later. Bye.